Hey, how's it going? Jonathan Myers here, actually, to help you on a crucial decision today. This is going to be podcast number 2, and I'm totally excited about this. It's a huge topic out there. Um, and it's not covered very well, to be honest. So, the topic of the day is what is the best way to go about obtaining clients? Do you want to use the inbound channel or do you want to do the outbound channel? Which one's the best one? The answer is very not so simple, unfortunately. But the answer is actually so simple, too. So, the answer is neither are the best, alright? There's a huge difference between the two, and you can't just go and say, hey, inbound's the best way to go. I'm totally going to do inbound for my business. Heck yeah. No, you can't really do that. It's not that easy. And outbound is not you can't say the same thing for outbound either. All right? Everyone has their pros and cons to each of them. And, you know, there are certain times to use each one of them. Now, we're going to go ahead and start with inbound. And I'm going to explain the difference between inbound and outbound as we go along. And you're going to decide for yourself which one's the best for your business, which is the one that you want to choose. So, inbound. Here's the thing about inbound. It's fantastic. Everybody wants it. It's they think there's no work involved whatsoever. It means everybody's coming to you. Everybody wants to work with you. You have to do very little work to attract that audience to come to you. It's pretty much organic referrals, word to mouth, networking, things like that, where people get to know who you are. You have such a great reputation and they want your business. Okay? That's inbound, ultimately. Sounds great, right? Well, the problem is there are a few cons to it. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of pros too, but we're going to start with the cons. So the thing about that is you cannot control the quality coming in. Again, everybody wants the best burger in the house, right? Everybody wants the fanciest restaurant just about, right? That has the best steak ever. But can everybody afford it? No. So guess what? It's the same concept with your business. Everybody's going to want to work with you, but you're not going to want to work with everybody. You're not going to want to have the people that can't afford your service. Not to say anything's wrong with that, but, with recent history going on, when you have a low quality client that can't afford your service, they tend to be the more nitpicky ones. They tend to be more the micromanaging ones because they've invested a huge percentage of their income, almost some of them nearly all of their income for the month in your service. And so they're very scared, they're very worried, and they want to see results real quick. They can't just sit back and let you do your thing. They want to make sure their money is well spent. So you have a lot of nitpicky clients in that regard if you just let anybody in. And there's no quality control. That's what I'm saying. There's no quality control over inbound. You can weed through them, but you're going to be spending that time weeding through them. Now, the other thing about inbound is it's up and down. It's a roller coaster. If the economy gets affected, as everybody knows during the pandemic, then your inbound gets affected. All right, it's just how it goes. Obviously, when the economy is doing great, your inbound can be doing great as well. Now, enough of the pros. Those are enough of the cons. There's a lot of other cons. Oh, this is actually a big one I meant to mention. The other thing about inbound is inbound takes a long time to establish. You're not going to come out of the gates just automatically having everybody wanting to work with you. It can take, it might take a couple months if you're an overnight success, which those are rare, but it could take years to establish a good inbound system. Ultimately, just depends on how you're doing your marketing and media campaigns. Now, the good thing about inbound, even though I just said it could take years to get established, there's also very little work involved. And what I mean by that is what we mentioned at the beginning. Everybody's coming to you. Now, it's not like you didn't have to do any work to begin with to get that work going. But once you get the inbound system going and you have a good reputation, you're pretty much set, till the economy crashes or something. And that's one of the biggest perks about inbound. And so inbound is great for a seasoned veteran company. It's great to have in your back pocket as not something to depend on, but more so as a bonus of clients coming in. That's what I like to look at inbound as. Now, outbound complete opposite. Okay, there's a lot of work up front, and there's a lot of work throughout. The thing is, though, it's very rewarding, and outbound is fantastic in my opinion for startup companies. And actually, one of almost the only ways to go about a startup company. Because with outbound, you can zone in and target who you want as a client. You're controlling the quality of prospects going through your pipeline. Unless you're just mass spamming out everybody, which I don't recommend ever doing. But if you're mass spamming every person out there, that's the only way you're not going to control your clientele, or if you just don't know how to reach out to your ideal client. But with outbound, you can reach out to your ideal client that you want to come in. And what I mean by that, you can choose how many years they've been in business. You can how many employees they have. What industry are they in? You can do all sorts of things and control that quality coming in your pipeline. That way, your chances of working with your dream clients all day long are sky high. That's a great thing about outbound. And again, like if you're a startup company, you can control the growth of your company at a greater rate with that. Even when the economy crashes, yeah, you might have to do more outbound outreach because there might be less people on the table for an option, but you can still control it nonetheless. Um, with the other thing about it, it's predictable. Once you get your metrics down, once you find out, okay, one out of every 10 people will set an appointment with me that I, talk to. Okay, cool. And maybe like, out of every appointments that you set, maybe 1 out of 4 will close. All right, cool. So now you know these metrics. These are just small example metrics. Then you can now predict what you have to do for the month to reach whatever goal you're trying to reach in revenue. Um, so those are the good things about outbound. There's a few more other things, but that's the basic gist of good outbound. Now, the bad thing about outbound is basically what I said in the beginning. It's a lot of work in the beginning, especially in the beginning, because you're testing, you're tweaking scripts, you're tweaking response rates, trying to get those response rates up there, trying to get the attention of people, trying to figure out how to get that attention without being like everybody else and being salesy, being spammy. You don't want to do all that mess. You want to do it properly. Do different stuff that other people don't do to grab the attention of the people you want coming in and doing business with you. Again, this is going to take a lot of work. It's not just overnight. But once you get it down, it's so rewarding because of what outcomes result. So ultimately, it's like I was saying, what's the difference between outbound and inbound and which one's best to use? It's neither of them. They're both great. They just both do their own thing. It's like trying to say, what's better, an apple or an orange? Well, I mean, it kind of depends. Are you trying to boost your immune system? If so, go ahead and have the orange. Are you trying to just have something that's, overall going to provide other vitamins, nutrients? Then just be healthy, then go for your apple. That's cool. Whichever. That's pretty much it. Short and simple. Wanted to keep this to the point. We'll go more over this stuff later. And there's plenty of other things going on. So again, if you enjoyed this, awesome. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support. Jonathan Myers. Go check me out on LinkedIn. Just Jonathan Myers. You'll find me and my scruffy self on there. You can check out my YouTube channel, Jonathan Myers, as well, where I'll be showing a lot of videos on prospecting and closing and things of that nature. You can also find me on Facebook, which is Jonathan Myers. Like, shocker. I'll put my link somewhere where you can find it easier. But that's it. Everybody have a great day.